Hi everyone, this is Alex from the podcast. We'd just like to congratulate Michael and Jessica Chan on the new baby boy. So Michael and I normally record our intros and sound engineer and can work on that throughout the week before we release this podcast. But for this week, because it's a big special occasion, they've got a new baby boy, we thought we'd just have this little intro and straight into the episode. All right, enjoy, and we'll have our intros back next week. All right, bye-bye. Welcome to the Hellbound Podcast, hosted by me, Alex Blackburn, the founder of the Hellbound Horror Festival, which is now returning on the glorious date of the 1st of August. I am joined, as always, by D-list actor extraordinaire Michael Chan. Now, one of the reasons I wanted to just clearly explain that, because usually I stumble over myself with the intro, is you're a bit of a chameleon, dude. Sometimes I think, I know Michael well. I know him, from our friendship outside of all things horror. But when I see things like Sub-Zero sweeping out snow and your TikTok account, which is the mind of a crazy man, which I love. Don't get me wrong. I love everything about it.
Thank you. So let's talk about Canada and the Stormageddon. Or actually, no, wait. Canada and the Snowmageddon. We had a snowmageddon here in southern Ontario, in Canada, and it produced, on the news they're like 40 centimeters of snow, but some people have way more. And it just depends on where the snow ends up getting blown, right? In the direction of your home or whatever. I have friends who are still stuck in their basement apartment. When they open their door, it's just a wall of snow. Like, people are pulling out tape measures to show people just how tall the snow is on their little staircase going up, and they have to plow themselves out of that, and people have to save each other. Canada currently looks like, southern Ontario, Canada looks like an apocalypse. When the Snowmageddon hit, or Stormageddon, or whatever you want to call this thing, oh my God, the next day was nuts because no one could go anywhere, right? But the day after that, I had to get my kid to school. And there were like 18. We counted 18 stranded buses in the road. There were stranded cars everywhere. Actually, the day of, like, while the snowstorm was happening, and the day after, most of the day after, if you look at the Google Maps of our major highways, it was just closed. All the highways are closed. People were stuck on the Highway 401, which is one of our major highways. It literally looked like something out of Walking Dead, like when they go on the highway. The day after the Snowmageddon happened, I went outside in a Sub-Zero, and this is like Mortal Kombat 1 Sub-Zero, so like short sleeve, and all, like, it's a really thin costume. And I went out there in the snow, and I actually had to like trudge through the snow to get to my garage because I don't have an internal door to my garage. I had to go actually open my garage and get. I like an insane person, went to my garage, got my shovel, came back, and I had my wife shoot this in one take because I was so frozen. I was like, honey, if I don't get this in one, I'm quitting. Like, I'm not even going to try again.
That's method.
So I got it in one. So if you guys go on my TikTok, which is at Michael CW Chan, you can find my Sub-Zero. No regrets, but I was very cold after.
Yeah, and if you complain about your weather and you've not seen snow before, then it's something to be experienced, especially that Sub-Zero clip. I thought that was hilarious, and you could see you going proper method because it looks so cold as well.
I'm going to move to a different kind of Armageddon called the Sharknado. I love it so much that I bought a Funko Pop of the Sharknado. That's how much I love Sharknado. But I never watched any of the sequels, like none of them.
Yeah.
And because I didn't care. But then my brother-in-law recently sent, like, in the family chat, sent a message, was like, Sharknado 5. And the reason why I want to talk about it is because that is the first sequel that I have watched, and oh my God, just oh my God. I want to become, like, I started, becoming a filmmaker last year with my best friend, Katisha Shaw. Like, we have started on a filmmaking journey, and I want the two of us to get so big that and so well known and so well loved that a studio is just going to dump a pile of money in front of us, send us into a writer's room for 2 days with a pile of drugs and tell us to do our worst. Because quite frankly, that's what I think happened with Sharknado 5. That is that because what and then the writers came out 2 days later and showed the studio the script, and the studio said, yes, let's make this thing. Let's. So apparently in this, I don't even know what happened in the other sequels, and Tara Reid's character is now like has cybernetics, and she's like, I don't know if she's human or cyborg or whatever on Earth she is. She has superpowers, and I'm just like, what is going on? It's so bad, it's good. And usually when filmmakers set out to make a bad movie, it's not so bad it's good. It's just terrible. Like, I don't want to watch it. Like some of those scary movies from, way back when they made comedies out of horror films, they're so bad. Like I could not watch them. I had no fun. But Sharknado, that's why I said it's like they just told a bunch of writers to do their worst, and they didn't care. They didn't even try to censor them, didn't try to stop them. Whatever ideas they come up with just got greenlit, because that's what this movie is. And it's so good that my brain melted. Like, if you feel depressed about the pandemic, watch this Sharknado 5 and then watch 6, because I'm going to do that after. Apparently there's time travel and dinosaurs, so I need to keep going, because now I'm convinced that I need this as medicine for this pandemic, and so do the rest of you. Your brain will be having such a hard time processing just how bad this thing is that it will require 100% of your brain power, and you will just have no room for anything else in your life. Literally nothing else. You won't be able to think about anything, because your brain is just going, what is going on? 0 out of 10 for if you want to talk about how good of a movie it is, but a 10 out of 10 on the Funometer.
I'm going to tell you about what I watched this week in terms of horror. I feel as though I'm rubbing it in, so to speak, because in the UK, theatres or cinemas are currently still open. I know across Canada they're closed, and anything like that.
I shake my fist at you.
So I went to see the new Scream film. I won't say too much about it.
You get to see it and I don't.
I would say, and I'm a huge Scream fan, that doesn't mean necessarily it's going to mean the same thing for everyone. I truly believe it's the best Scream sequel at the very least. I turned to Vicky, my wife, and after the opening going, this is a proper movie. This is a great Scream movie. Wes Craven would have been proud of what the two directors have done. The way they use the legacy characters is really interesting and not overbearing. There's breathing room for all the actors in the film. How they matured Dewey and Gale Weathers and all the other characters. I was kind of blown away by it, and there's only a couple of things that I wasn't kind of happy about, but overall, an absolutely fantastic Scream film. Absolutely fantastic. I was so happy watching it. I was genuinely just stoked. When there's movies every time from time to time where it's not necessarily the greatest film ever made, but I'm going, this is a fantastic movie. Like, I'm not a huge sports movie fan, but and I'm not a baseball fan. But when I went to see Moneyball, that was for me super engaging. I loved it. Going, wow, this is fantastic. And when I was watching Scream and the opening, and they give life to the idea of Ghostface in a really interesting way. That's not a spoiler. It's just what they do, and it's almost like they give the voice actor who performs Ghostface. I can't remember the actor's name. Roger L. Jackson, and he's on Cameo, and he's not on Cameo at the moment because obviously he's doing press for this. His performance as Ghostface, the voice of Ghostface, is amazing. It's a highlight. I think he's the best character in the film. But yeah, Scream's fantastic. I think, is it David Arquette who plays Dewey? He's superb. It's the best iteration of some of these legacy characters. I think it's fantastic the way it ties in the original films, or the original first film at least, and then peppers in the sequels in a really interesting way. I was like, wow, this is, what Halloween should have been.
I'm curious, David Arquette, what shape is he in this film? Is he in good shape?
I don't want to say the kind of version he's playing, but yeah, he's in good shape. He's like not leading man.
I'm talking about physically.
Yeah, he looks great. So he looks great.
Right before the pandemic, he had actually gotten back into pro wrestling.
Yes,
because I don't know if you know about his past with WCW. So apparently he felt really bad. In an interview I was listening to a podcast, he said he was kind of feeling bad about the past and about all the stuff that happened when he was in WCW and got the WCW championship belt and how angry people were and all this stuff. And he said, you know what? I'm going to prove to people that I can wrestle and that I'm a legitimate wrestler. So he went and started training and working with this wrestler, RJ City and all that. And it was amazing. Like, I saw some of his work. I think he nearly killed himself one time too in the ring because he was.
Isn't there a documentary about this? Isn't there a documentary with him?
I'm not sure. Did he do
I'm
a documentary?
Sure there is. Yeah,
getting back into it.
Yeah.
Regardless, like I watched some of his footage, and wow, I was like, wow, you really are training like really, really hard and like getting in amazing shape for his age. And, to actually learn to wrestle at that age, like I have a friend who used to do some indie pro wrestling, and she has been joking about getting back into it. And she keeps like trying to tease me. It's like, Michael, come on, you've always wanted to learn how to do pro wrestling. I'm like, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
So I've already joked that if she gets back into it, I will go train with her with the express purpose of having one singular match as her tag team partner. So in a male, like an intergender match, and I will retire.
Wow.
Immediately, because there's no way in hell I will ever be a pro wrestler. But to learn the art, because I think the artistry is amazing. But yeah, like I was curious what David Arquette looked like. Because I believe this film was shot during the pandemic, right?
He looks great physically. He looks like a leading man, and he is.
Sweet.
David's really grown into the character. The way they developed Dewey, and they've really allowed him to run with it, and they don't lean into the kind of cheesy aspect of him, but they allow for breathing room of that from at the right points. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I was like watching him, and you see it in the trailers. Obviously, I know you haven't seen the trailers, but you think, okay, this is a new version. So he's really grown to his character in the film, and I wouldn't necessarily say there's obvious signs of a sequel, but if there is, you'd like to think that it's at a new level now. It's at a new level in terms of quality and acting and performances. So, yeah, I thought it was absolutely superb. A worthy sequel to the first film. That's what I'd say.
You have me so excited now. You have no idea. But also I'm angry because like there's no way I'm going to be able to watch this outside of just obviously theaters being closed. Unless they put it on streaming. Like and I'm saying this to all the studios out there, guys, come on. I am willing to pay money to even rent it. I don't care. Like I will buy it if it's good. But at this point, I'm happy to pay the $24.99 Canadian plus tax to rent it, to have a movie night with my family, to watch, say, Spider-Man, the new Spider-Man that I haven't been able to see, to see Scream, anything. Just get it on a streaming service. I know theaters are going to get mad, but dude, they're closed. And a lot of people can't go, especially the immunocompromised, who, by the way, you guys are punishing by not having it available in some other format.
I wouldn't necessarily say it's a film to see in the theaters. You can enjoy Scream at home. Obviously, Spider-Man's a little bit different because of the kind of type of film it is. Yeah, but yeah. There's got to be a way to kind of supply demand. There is a massive demand for it.
One of the ideas I've been thinking about, because I know, for example, Cineplex which is the large theater company we have over here, corporation. They have a website, and they have like the Cineplex store, and you can actually buy and rent movies on their site. I know like things like Netflix and all that, they want their own exclusive whatever deals with these movie studios, but how about like if you want to like appease the theaters, maybe allow their website services. Now this obviously will be difficult for like more independent theaters and all that, because they might not have a system set up, or small theaters, but at least allow theaters to have the infrastructure to do this, to have some kind of streaming access for customers who want to see the movies for a limited time. So maybe have it while it's in the theater, it's also available on the website for rental. So you purchase essentially an online ticket and watch it on the movie theater's website, and then that'll at least be a solution for now, right? For a limited time until it's taken off. There are so many people who, even when theaters open back up, won't be able to go because with you know the COVID-19 still floating around, they are very susceptible even after vaccination and boosters.
Yeah.
And it could kill them. It's not fair.
I'd just like to give a shout out to a Swedish horror nerd. I don't know the name of the guy or girl, but thank you to a Swedish horror nerd for putting us on their website and to recommending ourselves and a bunch of other horror-based podcasts from across the world. So little shout out to a Swedish horror nerd.
Really, really appreciate it. And 'cause yeah, we appreciate any support we can get, especially like we're such a new podcast, right? We're trying to get our name out there, and it's people like you that help us grow, and yeah, we will not forget the support that you've given us. Let's talk about merch. Wow, Eccles now merch.
So, Michael, what do you like about our merch we've got on offer for our fans?
So yeah, wow, Alex, I like you first of all, you took so many of the ideas that we talked about and made them a reality. I'm so happy. Like we have stickers, we have the shot glasses, the tumbler. Is it a tumbler? No, wait. It's sorry,
apparently
the
it's
traveler.
Apparently, it's a wine. It's a wine. It's for drinking wine out of.
Oh, I didn't click
yeah.
on it. I just saw the picture and not the description, the name. I thought it was like a traveling coffee mug. Not coffee mug, coffee It's a wine thing?
I might be completely wrong, but no. We've got a pint glass. Let me just make some corrections. We've got a pint glass.
Yes, we do.
Stainless tumbler. That's for water.
That's the one.
But there is a wine tumbler as well, apparently.
Oh, I missed that, but that's cool.
We've not released that yet, but we will do soon.
Never mind. It is coming soon. Coming soon. I love our new merch. Like, I love the mask. Yeah. I admittedly ordered one immediately because awesome. I want to wear our faces on my face, our mugs on my mug. That's what I want. Speaking of mugs, we also do have a mug that is absolutely gorgeous. We have long sleeve shirt, long sleeve sweatshirt, hoodie. I ordered a hoodie. It's just absolutely amazing. And on top of all that, not only is there Hellbound Podcast merch on that site, there's Hellbound Festival merch, including our variant logo shirt, which is beautiful. Only 20 will be made. I was tempted to order one, but I did not because I would like to make sure that all 20 are purchased by fans. It's not fair if one of the hosts ends up buying one of 20. But and then there's Slayer Talk stuff that has my wife's face on it, one of our guest voices for our intros. I am just so excited. Like, everything is amazing. But yeah, our Hellbound Podcast merch is absolute fire, and that's no cap in that. I'm using Gen Z terminology, and I feel gross and dirty using it. I apologize to Gen Z for attempting to use your terminology.
I'm kind of stoked about how it's developing as well, from Slayer Talk to Hellbound from last year, even our original judges tee, which is
those are beautiful
icons that represent all of our judges from the first Hellbound festival. So there's a couple of new designs, and we'll have a full festival T-shirt. That won't be a limited. That'll be kind of a consistent shirt that we offer, kind of like the last Hellbound main T-shirt, and that'll be coming up. So there'll be new designs, new horror designs, and there's going to be a special Michael Chan edition of the Hellbound Podcast T-shirt as well.
Wait, what?
Yeah, so that's all I'm going to tell you about that. There's going to be a very special
version. What?
You won't be able to. No one will be able to buy it. Sadly, sorry, fans, unless Michael okays it. But Michael's getting a special T-shirt to aid him in the world. So yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So wait, there's not going to be. See, I've always imagined that we would also have merch that are like individualized. So like the Alex merch and the Michael merch.
Well, if it turns out and you want to open it up to a wider audience, I'm happy to do that, where there's going to be a unique piece of art that's just Michael inspired. So yeah, I think that's a great idea to do merch based on ourselves. But yeah, there's
like we could use the intros as inspiration, as an example, like Iron Suit Alex.
It's all
and
in
once
hand, yeah.
Once there is a future segment that I've been discussing with Alex, and I won't tell you guys much more about it, but his Iron Man suit is going to evolve.
Yeah.
You are actually listening to us talk about merch creation in real time. Hope this isn't boring for you, because it's not getting cut out. And Alex, I will kick your butt if you cut this out.
No, this isn't getting cooked out. All the clacking sounds of me typing on my keyboard, I'll keep all those.
But yes, we should probably cap this episode off now before we tangent off way too far or start reading Chuck Tingle covers again like we did last week.
As our parting, as a little wave goodbye for this episode, have you got something to tell us from Chuck Tingle?
Yes, everybody go out and read Pounded in the Butt by the Handsome Sentient Manifestation of My Twitch stream.
Night, everybody. Night.
No, guys, follow us on Instagram at the Hellbound Podcast. Of course, if you have horror cosplays or horror makeup you would like to be featured, that you would like to have featured on our social media, please send them in a private message on our Instagram, and we will feature you. On top of that, if you have, I don't know, a music video or something, a horror-based music video, horror-based music, anything that you would like us to feature, we are happy to show you some love. So again, that's at the Hellbound Podcast. Harness to darkness.